Going on, everybody? I hope you're doing well. I'm hanging in there. We're going to get into one of these reaction videos today, okay? And this one says 432 hertz and 528 hertz. The most powerful, I guess, frequencies or something like that, they're going to say. And they're going to be comparing them. And the channel that uploaded that video, it's called Be Inspired Channel. All right, so we're going to get into this and learn some more about spirituality. Today we're talking along the topic of frequencies, okay?
There has been much debate over the years as to which frequency of sound is more beneficial to humans. The 432 Hz frequency because of its long relation to music and also health benefits. Others claim that the 528 Hz one is the superior frequency we should be using. Each side of the discussion has some solid arguments which are rooted in history, mathematics, science, music, and above all else, wellness. But which frequency is actually best for us? What are the similarities and differences, if any, between these two? How can somebody pick between two frequencies that have been proven over time to stimulate and enhance humans? From tuning forks to instruments that can record sounds in space, and from ancient geniuses to today's scientists, there are plenty of options and information out there to help anyone make the right decision between these two frequencies. All it takes is a bit of research and an open mind about what you are likely to find. What is the 432 Hz frequency? For many people, the 432 Hz frequency is already something quite familiar that they use every day. But for those that don't know much about it, here are a few things you should be aware of. First of all,
432 is what they used to tune all of the music to. Any song that you would listen to back in the day, it was always tuned to 432 hertz. That was the standard tuning frequency, okay? Then, at a certain time back in the day, they changed it to 440. So they increased it by 8 hertz. And people say that they've manipulated it so specifically that it makes it, let's just say, not good. It used to be good because when you listen to music, you feel happy. Like if you've ever listened to classical, it's relaxing, it's soothing. But then you listen to stuff modern day, like hard rock or like rap, and it's like it gets you kind of, your heart's kind of beating quicker. You're kind of getting into it. You're getting a little. Sometimes you get angry or you get into the emotion, whatever emotion they want you to feel. That's because it's been manipulated. Apparently it's been because it's been manipulated. But let's check this out, okay? 432 is better than 440. But the real discussion in this video is 432 versus 528. 528 keeps you grounded to planet Earth. It's known as like planet Earth's frequency and stuff like that, like nature, and balances you. It makes sense because out of the solfeggio frequencies, 528 is right in the middle. So balance, But let's go.
This is one of the oldest frequencies ever used in tuning. It's so old, in fact, that there were instruments found in Egyptian sites that suggest it was used by the singers of the day. Yes, those instruments didn't necessarily have too much range to them, but archaeologists could still measure what kind of sounds they made and see what their frequency was. The 432 Hz frequency is mentioned pretty often in music history. That's because this is the frequency that Verdi and other composers used to tune their instruments before playing them. Although the composers liked using the 432 frequency, in 1939, it was decided to standardize all tuning to a 440 Hz frequency. There have been a lot of theories about this move, some of them even including the Nazis and the Rockefeller Foundation. Others even go further and say that the entire music industry is being used to corrupt people by using music designed to play at a 440 Hz frequency and so stimulate the aggressive side of people.
It wasn't until 1939 that an international conference held in London recommended to use A440 as a compromise between the various tuning systems used at the time, some of which reached beyond 450 hertz. In fact, the BBC required their orchestras to tune to A440 instead of A439 because 439 is a prime number, and that frequency was difficult to generate electronically with standard electronic clock.
The 432 Hz frequency is also closer to the Schumann resonance, or the frequency of the Earth. The The Schumann resonance is at around 8 hertz, so tuning
Really?
any instrument to a multiple of that.
Then why have I seen videos where it says 528 and then it says Earth's frequency? Why are you telling me 8 now? Oh well.
Which 432 is, would give anyone doing so a much sharper sound, more in tune with the natural world around them. Granted, some may say that the Schumann resonance has changed over time, and it may not be a perfect 8 hertz, but considering that Schumann resonance was first measured in 1960, that's a pretty good match. 432 also appears in texts about the Great Flood, as described by the Babylonians. For them, 432,000 years passed between the moment of creation and the Great Flood. And they're not the only ancient civilization to connect this number to important things in their culture. Ancient Egyptians integrated numbers into their pyramids. The Great Pyramid is 1 to 43,200 in relation to the Earth as a matter of size.
I'm sorry, but if you're into even base level numerology, that's shocking. This is crazy already, dude, and we're only not even 4 minutes into it. This is nuts, bro.
Hello.
Do you want to play with me?
Sure. You want me to help you with your groceries?
This journey with childhood
Is 1 to 43,200 in relation to the Earth as a matter of size.
And then what about Khufu, the Great Pyramid? Okay, so you've got a pi and a phi pyramid here. You know, you can see on the right the phi pyramid. If the half base is 1, then the height is the root of phi and the hypotenuse is phi. Unbelievable. And if the half base is pi, then the height is 4. And you've got the 7-11 ratio there of base to height. And normally it's given as 440 Egyptian royal cubits for the base and 280 for the height. But if you give the base in the long cubits, it's 432. The base of the Great Pyramid is 432 long cubits, and
So he said initially this one is 440, and then if you break it down the right way, using long cubits or like basic cubits, it is 432 instead of 440. That's funny because this is like a play on words. This is like reality showing you whatever you're looking at is also related to what comes down the pipeline in the future. Pretty interesting.
you take the height, unbelievable, it's 432 times that 711.
Stonehenge also has some interesting connections to the number. Dividing the Platonic year of 25,920 by the number of stones used to construct the monument, which is 60, we get precisely 432. So ancient civilizations weren't so ignorant about the number as some may think. Even more so, they managed to include it in a lot of their works and even used it to do complex mathematical equations. That makes the number itself a part of both nature and the civilizations that have developed over time. What about the 528 Hz frequency? Maybe not as well known as the 532 Hz frequency, the 528 Hz has supporters that say it's even more important than the former. Although this can't really be confirmed in any way, the 528 Hz frequency has some interesting connections to history, science, and nature as well.
Before he gets started on 528, I want to give you my own quick breakdown of 528. So I was listening to different frequencies, different solfeggio frequencies each night with these wired headphones. I had different ones back then, but you get the gist, right? So one night I'm listening to 528 Hertz. And I go to that same video even today, 3 years later. This was 3 years ago, over 3 years ago. Okay? So one night I'm listening to it. I'm sorry, excuse me. Seltzer water. Then I end up feeling fluids on the back of my brain go down my spinal cord all the way to the base and back up. And I have super consciousness, like, poof. And it's called the sacred secretion. Turns out it's an actual biological, internal alchemical process within the body, the human body. And out of everything, out of all the different solfeggio frequencies I've been listening to that week, 528 was the one to transform me. So there's something to it. There's a reason it's a contender against 432. I mean, think 432 is the basis for all music. That's important. But 528 has its own little unique things, and I'm about to learn with you, because I don't know everything about it, right? Clearly not. I just know that I had a spiritual awakening when I was listening to it, when I got deep into my meditative states. So let's go.
When music was first theorized, 6 solfeggio frequencies were defined. This was one of them. Many say that this might even be the most important of them because it's the one considered to be used in many ancient religious chants. Although this idea has been disputed, many musical instruments found dating back thousands of years have been proven to be.
When he says 6 solfeggio frequencies, I'm pretty sure that's when they first found them out, and then later they added at least 3 more. So you can say 9. Some people say 10. Some people include 432. So each one of them starts with the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's why there's 9 of them. But some people say there's 10 because they include 417, which would be the one under the 4 category. Then also 432. So 417 and 432. But let's go.
Tuned to this frequency, or at least be capable of producing sounds that vibrate at that frequency. There are also some very impressive examples in our times of artists using the 528 Hz frequency to create music.
There's 9 core creative frequencies. In fact, these are the perfect circle of sound. This is called the perfect circle of sound. There's 9 notes that creates everything in the universe. The third note in that sequence is 528. The old original solfeggio, ancient musical scale that had 6 notes. These are 9 now. It completes the circle. But the first notes were not do, re, mi, but ut, re, mi. Mi stands for miragistorum in Latin, or miracles in English. So the miracle note of the universe is love. The miracle note of the universe is 528 Hertz frequency, and it's the heart of everything.
Yeah, I've heard it.
The artists who blow up in 6 months and the ones that stay stuck for 3 years have the same amount of talent. The difference is that one of them.
The miracle note of the universe is 528 Hertz frequency, and it's the heart of everything.
But the 528 Hz frequency isn't limited to just music. Because light travels similarly to sound, this frequency can be used to express a light wavelength. And because the color is simple light perceived at various wavelengths, the 528 Hz frequency can be expressed as a part of the electromagnetic color spectrum. Some may be surprised that this frequency is very close to the center of that spectrum. It can even be linked to other celestial bodies. Just like 432 has a direct connection to the Earth, the 528 Hz frequency has a connection to the Sun. That's because the Sun has a measurable sound emitting from it at 528 Hz. Over time, scientists and researchers have also made a connection between Saturn and the 528 Hz frequency. That's because just as the Earth has its frequency that resonates into space.
Bro, there's something weird. When I did the 528 Hertz and I tapped into the sacred secretion for the first time, the car I was driving during that time in my life was a Saturn. This is just so weird. I'm sorry. I'm drawing all types of parallels today.
So do the other planets. And Saturn's has been measured to be at 528 Hz. 528 can also be found in math. The number is a Pythagorean one, and also has various implications in finding the value of pi and phi, both very important to ancient builders and mathematicians. Without these numbers, the pyramids themselves wouldn't have been constructed. Also, measurement units such as miles couldn't have existed. That's because there are exactly 5,280 feet in a mile.
If it wasn't for 528, you wouldn't have circles, you wouldn't have squares, you wouldn't have any sacred geometry. You wouldn't have pyramids. The pyramids are intimately constructed based on the mathematics of pi, phi. You wouldn't have pi or phi without 528. In other words, you wouldn't have anything without love.
Where do the frequencies differ? Although both frequencies have been known to have positive effects on humans, there are some differences between them that make people lean towards one or the other. For example, the 432 Hz frequency has been used to promote lower blood pressure, while the 528 Hz frequency has been mainly used in studies regarding DNA regeneration and healing. But let's take it one at a time. The 432 Hz frequency is generally associated with the fact that music turned to this frequency helps reduce stress and helps people sleep better. It's been demonstrated that listening to 432 Hz music helps reduce the heart rate, having a calming effect on the person listening. It also stimulates positive thinking and well-being. This frequency has been used in meditations for centuries, as it
more than just meditation. I was listening to 432 last night, and I fell asleep with my headphones on, like that's how relaxing it is, bro.
Helps stimulate and heal the root chakra. This is the chakra that's responsible for our feelings of safety and security. It's associated with the basic needs of any human, such as shelter, food, and water. The 432 Hz frequency is said to help focus energy on that chakra and make it more responsive to the energy from without. This way, people can experience a stronger sense of security.
All right, I need you to know, I'm pretty sure 432 is not specified towards any certain chakra. 417 is, because that's one of the solfeggio frequencies. 396, 417, 528, 639, 741, 852, 963. You just add one to each of them. Like, think of it, 396. The next one is 417. So 3 becomes 4, 9, since it's maxed out at 9, it resets to 1, and then 6 goes to 7. That's it. Everything's +1, +1, +1. And then the next level you go to, same thing. You have to add 1 again. And this is just what it is. That's why the solfeggio frequency proves that mathematics is tied in to creation. That's what's amazing. That's why when people say, oh, like certain Christians, they go, oh, yeah, oh, you believe in parts of numerology? Oh, that's from the devil. Oh, excuse me, is it from the devil? Because to me, not only at first did I think it was neutral, that it's not really good or really bad, it just is, but I looked deeper into it, bro. It seems as though if there is a creator of this universe, he used this divine blueprint to make matter in a certain way. And not only that, he did it so that we could better understand this creation. There's my opinion. It's not demonic, bro. What? Everything's demonic nowadays with you Christians. What is up with y'all? Chill the hell out. You're getting way too obsessive over minute things. Okay? You try to put me in this box, like I'm in the box right now. You can't contain me, bro.
The 528 Hz frequency has been linked to the healing of the human body as well. For example, it has been called the love frequency. Although to some it may sound a bit confusing, it actually refers to the fact that during meditation, using music at 528 Hz, the body starts to develop a stronger sense of self-love. This is important because this way, negativity is driven out of the body, stimulating the heart chakra, located right in the solar plexus. This frequency is considered by many to be the most important one in the entire body.
The 528 Hz frequency is the main frequency of the so-called self-faccio healing frequency.
639 Hz is responsible for the heart chakra, known by the color green, okay? So if you go down 1, you go down to the color yellow, okay? And that is the solar plexus region. That is where 528 helps, I'm pretty sure. Because I'm pretty sure it starts at 396, 417, then the third chakra, 528. So it goes like that. You have to remember numbers, like the frequencies, colors, Roy G. Biv, the colors of the rainbow, and then sound too. So numbers, color, and sound, and they all overlap. This is, this is crazy. This shows that there's framework for a very specified set of ideals set before us, that's known as reality, you know?
It's an old frequency, and I think the most outstanding difference to a lot of frequencies, what's supposed to be called healing frequencies, that the 528 Hz frequency is not a man-made frequency. It's a frequency that occurs in the universe. It occurs in every living matter. It occurs in the humming of the bees. It occurs in the chlorophyll of the leaves. So it's something what is understood, the miracle DNA repair, what is so-called divine frequency.
Another benefit of the
That's why it wasn't just sacred secretion activation with me. It wasn't just the sacred secretion. It was like light body activation. And then like a couple weeks into it, it was Kundalini rising. And then I even did hemisync, which is brain hemisphere synchronization. You can look into all these things. Lots of them have been studied by the CIA, probably all of them actually, in fact. And they've gotten test subjects to see, okay, could this person tap in? Oh, I bet you this person's a good candidate. Because they want to know. They're obsessed with the spiritual. They won't tell you that at a job interview if you try to go apply for the CIA, bro. But they are obsessed with knowledge. Why do you think it's a CIA? Intelligence agency. Intelligence. They are obsessed with learning new things. So, and the idea, the realm of spirituality is very abstract, my friend, but it goes very deep. And this is why they're obsessed with it.
528 hertz frequency is that it's been demonstrated by researchers to lower the levels of anxiety. Measurements made on people while listening to 528 hertz music showed an increase in oxytocin levels and a decrease in cortisol. This is what makes people feel less stressed and anxious.
Love.
Also, the people in these tests concluded that...
Sorry, but oxytocin, he said, it spikes oxytocin. Oxytocin is the love hormone, the love chemical, okay? You feel true love, pure bliss, and connection, and that's it. And not only is it increasing that, but at the same time, it's decreasing. I don't know if he said, no, he didn't say estrogen. I think he said the stress hormone or something. I don't know.
A music-based therapy that uses sounds and music at this frequency could work to help people deal with stress and negative thoughts in their lives. Another study showed that the 528 hertz frequency promotes the breakdown of ethanol in the blood. This is what's contained in all alcoholic beverages. It also increases cell life by almost 20%. This could lead to many breakthroughs in many fields of medicine.
That's funny because 528 hertz had me activate the sacred secretion, and when that happens, not only are millions of dormant brain cells activated, but also new blood cells, not just brain cells, but blood cells are created, and they take over the body, and now you have this fresh, newly produced cells all throughout your body. You feel rejuvenated physically and mentally. You're sharper than ever. It's like God mode, basically, okay? And we can all attain it. I'm not some special person, but I'm special because I tapped into the sacred secretion 5 times in a row. Bro, some people can do it every month for years, for their whole life. I did it 5 times in a row, and when I tried number 6, 7, and 8, I couldn't do it anymore. So, like, obviously there's something there. There's some stagnation. There was some change in my life, in my outer and inner life, that stopped me from being able to do it. And maybe it was... I'll talk more about it on another topic. I don't want to...
Particularly those that deal with liver and blood cell regeneration. Also, speaking of liquids, the 528 hertz frequency has been used in other areas as well. For example, it has been successfully used in the cleaning up of a patch of water affected by the BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill. Scientists concluded that after using music at 528 hertz, the water was cleaned and safe once again for marine life. Granted, some will say that it was just a fluke, but scientists that replicated the experiment in controlled conditions arrived at the same results.
The universe is made of water. Not only does the Bible say that, but NASA science proved that about 10 years ago when they discovered water throughout space.
Going from this observation, one could theorize that our bodies, being made up of over 50% water, we could use the same principles as described in the experiment and influence it in order to make it better or to get rid of any bad energy it might store.
Yes, the Nature's Antibiotics sale actually ends today. Yes, this sale ends today. This is your last chance to get the one with oregano oil and black seed oil. It has insane benefits.
Or to get rid of any bad energy it might store. Where are the frequencies similar? Although the two frequencies differ greatly as to what they are used for, they also have a lot in common, starting with the fact that they have both been used by composers and singers over the years to create music. They're among the oldest frequencies used, and many examples of these can still be found in ancient texts that talk about chanting, or even in objects, such as Himalayan bowls, used for meditation and relaxation. Both have also been used in healing therapies around the world, from the ancient Eastern medicine centers all the way to the modern Western hospitals and clinics. These frequencies have been, in one way or another, used to treat various illnesses, and are still the basis for several ongoing types of research and studies about how sound and vibration can cure the human body at a molecular level. But the similarities aren't just based on usage and origins. The numbers themselves make the two frequencies unique. First of all, they have both been linked to Pythagoras in one way or another. 528 is an example of Pythagorean triples, while 432, although not such a triple, has been mentioned by Pythagoras in many writings and calculations regarding the golden ratio, the determination of pi and other important mathematical values. Also, the sums of both numbers also have a certain importance. The sum of 432 is 9, while the sum of 528 is 6. This led many to the conclusion that the two numbers, and thus the two frequencies, must be complementary to each other. It's a sort of yin and yang energy between the two. That's also why many people use these frequencies alternatively. How and when to use these frequencies?
Yes.
Both the 432 Hz frequency and the 528 Hz one have been successfully used by people all over the world and in almost every age in order to adjust their interior vibrations or to enhance certain parts of their person. So a series of therapies and methods of usage have been developed over the years. One of these methods is simply listening to music that is played at these frequencies. Remember that 432 is great for when you have those long drives and need something soothing to help you stay calm, while 528 is perfect for when you're having an off day and want to feel better about yourself. Another way you can use the two frequencies is when you want to meditate. You simply have to find a tuning fork.
That's what I was going to say. 432 to listen to at nighttime to relax your body physically and allow your mind to kind of just drift off. It will help you to fall asleep and probably stay asleep. If you have issues and you don't want to try medicine to sleep with, you want to try like a holistic approach or a more natural potential remedy. But 528, like it said, DNA repair on a cellular molecular level, which is insane. So if you ever feel off, you're starting to feel like you're getting sick, try that maybe. I don't know. Obviously, try medicine too. I'm not going to say don't take medicine, just listen to the stuff. I'm not going to say that because that's not right. But you could try to add that to your list of things that you do to help you, and it could prove beneficial. You know. So, but not only physically, but it helped me reach super consciousness too. So I could recommend 528 when you're in meditation. If you're trying to get to your next level of meditation, you've been doing it for months already and you're getting pretty good at it and you can meditate for an hour or longer at night, try 528, see how you like it. Everybody's different. Maybe it's not the same experience I had. I'm not saying you're going to activate your sacred secretion by listening to 528 like I did. You might, but I'm just giving you some personal suggestions as this gentleman is. But his aren't necessarily personal. They're researched, probably. But let's go.
That is tuned to the frequency you desire, and then just start and match that frequency with your voice. Himalayan bowls work just as fine for creating that ambiance that helps you get into a state of mental relaxation and inner exploration. Simply find yourself a quiet place and focus all of your energy and thoughts on fixing what you consider is wrong with you. Make sure that the music you're using is the right one for the occasion, and just let it do the rest. So, which frequency is best? Well, this is where it gets tricky. That's because there isn't a sure way of answering such a question. It's like comparing apples to oranges. They're both fruits, but each has its separate benefits and can't really be substituted one for another. Although there's still an ongoing debate about which frequency is the best, the point is that they're both unique and have their own separate benefits when it comes to the human body.
I would suggest listening to both of them and vary for a week or a few weeks. Then at the end of your studies, come to find out, for you, which one is better, because it comes down to the individual.
May be partial to the 432 Hz frequency because they're more musically inclined. But that doesn't mean that 528 Hz frequency is anything to sneeze at. Sure, it may not be as popular or have that many speculations around it, but it does come with a very solid portfolio of various research and medical tests to prove that it is indeed very useful to people all over the world. The idea is that one does not cancel the other out. Each can be used for a specific purpose and also have fantastic results on the human body and mind. They're both something that we can use in order to heal our bodies and make our spirits more receptive to higher vibrations coming from places that we may not be able to perceive yet. They can improve us, and it should be our goal to use them in precisely that way, as often and as profoundly as possible.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete...
I gotta check out that next video that just popped up at the end. That sounds crazy. But thank you so much for stopping by and learning something new with me today. Hopefully you learned something new. Yeah, until the next reaction video, I hope you all have a great day. Feel free to leave a like, comment, share, or subscribe. It helps the channel out greatly. I am in the birthing stage of this channel, so I'm in the very beginning. Recently I hit over 100 subscribers on YouTube and TikTok, which is good, my first 100. So I know that's not like really a huge number or anything, but for me, that's an accomplishment because I put out content consistently and it's enough to make people watch a couple videos, and after that, some of them said, I'm going to actually rock with this kid, and then they hit subscribe. So that's awesome, dude. It's starting to work at a low scale. We just need to expand out, that's all. And time will do that, time under pressure. Let's make those diamonds, baby. But that's all I got. Until next time, stay safe, be blessed, and live lavishly. I'm going to see all of you in the next reaction video. Thanks so much for watching Sigma Reacts, and until then, just know that I love you all. Peace.